Hello YouTubers, it's Champion DJK coming at you again with another 10 Car Tuesday episode. And today we've got some just random Hot Wheels castings. Mostly, I guess, what would you call them? Like kind of in the workhorses category for Hot Wheels. We're going to start with this Hummer. This one's from 92, I believe. So it's on a blue card. It's number 188. This debuted in the 1992 main line. Go ahead and open it up. And there it is. So I believe it debuted in the 1992 main line, and this is one of the debut versions. Now, I know it did also come out with a version that had a metal body. This one has a metal base, but it has a plastic body. It's got a turret up top, which I think you can rotate. Yes, you can. So there's that. It's got a trailer hitch in the back. No opening features or anything. It does not appear to have an interior. Like I said, this one is a plastic body. I believe it lost the turret in 1996, and then it's been released a ton of times. It was actually last seen in the 2018 main line. So just this last year. So there is your first car for 10 Car Tuesdays. We've got 10 different castings to look at for this one, and that is number 1. Now, the second one, we'll leave this one out because the second one is also military related. This is the Big Bertha. This casting debuted in 1985. It was released a handful of times and then last seen in 1997. This one, I believe, is the 1988 or 9 version. Let's see if we get a copyright. Actually, copyright date on this is 1991, so it must be a little bit newer than that. 92 probably. Blue cards are interesting though because they're not as easy, I don't think, to really tell what year the version was. And I think same versions came out in multiple years. I think. I could be wrong. So this one is essentially a metal body. This the cannon here on top, the gun, is plastic. I believe it does turn. Yes, it does. Kind of hard to do with one hand. I'm kind of turning it with 2 hands. So there it is. Turned. Of course, we got camo. There's actually quite a bit of metal on this because all these, the track and stuff, this is all metal, and then the base actually is plastic. And this has a Malaysia base. So all in all, kind of a neat little tank. Of course, a tank would be probably bigger than a Humvee, right? So they're obviously not to scale, but kind of neat nonetheless, and kind of different camo pattern as well. But here's your Big Bertha tank. I think this had a handful of different names too. I don't know if they always called it the Big Bertha, but there it is. So we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. And then next up we got, this one's an odd one. This is the Tipper. This version is 1998. It came out in 98 in the Hot Wheels main line, and that was it for this one. This is a weird one. Mainly because it's in that weird little handful of castings that were Corgi toolings. The Tipping Lorry. So it's a tipping lorry made in China. This is a Corgi tooling. So Hot Wheels, I believe, acquired Corgi and acquired their toolings and put some of the toolings in the Hot Wheels main line, and this is one of those toolings. So it's got a plastic bed, or dump bed, basically. With this is actually metal. No, it is plastic. So plastic and plastic. This is metal. The body of the truck is metal. Kind of an interesting tooling. It's a Corgi. Corgi's constructed a little weird. A lot of them have like 3 rivets. Some of them have more than 3 rivets that are holding it together. But kind of an interesting little Hot Wheels casting. You don't see them too much because it really only came out that 1 year, and that was it. I think there was another variation of it in yellow that looked a lot more Corgi-like, but this is the Hot Wheels version. But it's kind of cool. It's got a moving feature. So far, all three of these castings that we looked at so far have had some sort of moving feature. This one does not. This is the London bus. So Matchbox has put out a ton of double-decker buses. This is the Hot Wheels London bus. And this is also I believe it is, a Corgi tooling. And it should say made in China. There it is. It's a Daimler Fleet line. The London Standard. Kind of difficult to tell what is the front, what's the back. I mean, the Hot Wheels logo, obviously, I guess. Oh, there it is. There's the little bit of front sort of detail. A great newspaper for a great city, the London Standard. I don't know if the London Standard is an actual paper or not. This came out in 1997. This particular one, it actually debuted in the FAO Schwartz series, I believe. It was or something like that, like a gift set or something. It was gold, I think, and it was this casting, and that was 96. And then this one came out in 97. So this was a Corgi tooling, and it only basically showed up in the mainline 1 year, and that was it. So those Corgi toolings really weren't used very much. They were used in the mainline for like 1 or 2 years, and well, at least the majority of them. The 911 Porsche Carrera was released a bunch of times. This is the recycling truck. This one debuted in 1992, and this is the 1992 version that it debuted in. And here it is. Got a moving bit. That's kind of cool. It's the recycler. This one is a lot of plastic. There's plastic base, plastic majority of the actual up top tooling, and then this cab is metal, and that's the only metal bit in the whole casting. I'm guessing the metal, though, goes all the way. Well, it has to. It goes all the way back to like here because it's riveted in 2 places. Kind of a cool little recycle truck. So 92, handful of releases. This truck had a final run release, which if you're not familiar with Hot Wheels final runs, it's they had a series that came out around that 2000-2001 release, and basically they released cars for the last time and destroyed the toolings apparently so that they would never be put out again. And it was called the final run. So this was actually final run. So you will not see this again unless they retool it for whatever reason. So there's your recycler truck. Now we're halfway through. Next one, we get another interesting one. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. New model. This was a new model for 1993. 93 mainline. It's had a bunch of releases. It was last seen in a 2000, actually all the way up to 2010. There's some Oscar Mayer promo. There's a couple different variations of it, wheel variations and such. Not much you can do to vary this car, but here it is, the Wienermobile. I'm sure everybody's seen the Wienermobile, maybe. If you live in the U.S., has probably seen it in real life at some point in time. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Interesting vehicle. Wonder what kind of safety standards it has, the real vehicle. Oscar Mayer, 1993. And there it is. It's goofy. It's a Wienermobile. I think I actually saw the Wienermobile somewhat recently, so it's still around. I don't know if it's probably been modified and stuff like that, made newer. I don't know. And I think I saw it in a Walmart parking lot. This is pretty much all the top. The wiener part is plastic. The base, or not the base, but like half of the base is metal. So it's just this top half of the base that's metal, and then the actual base is plastic. And that is how it's constructed. Yeah, not much else to say about the Wienermobile, but here is the Wienermobile. Definitely an interesting Hot Wheels tooling. As far as you don't see it in like Replica Entertainment. Alright, so here is the school bus. This debuted in 1989. This, as far as I know, is the 1989 release. and color that it was available in 89. It was released a ton of times. Last time it was seen in 2013 in the Retro Entertainment as the Muppets bus. And here it is. This one has a plastic base, metal body. It is your basic yellow school bus. I like it because it is basic, because it is the basic yellow, just a basic school bus. And I think it looks all right. It's a nice little, definitely had some play value for kids and in the lap and all that. So that pretty cool little casting. Very basic. Just yellow school bus. It's a yellow school bus. Emergency exit. Not a ton of detail on it, but got some good play value in that one. So that one's pretty cool. Yellow school bus. And then next up we got in the race truck series, the Kenworth T600. So this is a cool little semi-truck casting. This casting itself debuted in 1989. This version that you're looking at here is the 1996 version. Here it is. This one does not have an interior, so it's always had solid color for windows. It's got a plastic base, metal body. It's got 3 axles, which is cool. And overall, it's kind of a cool semi-truck casting. I've always thought it was kind of cool. I have actually quite a few variations of it. So the old one's really cool. The 89 one's really cool. It's released a bunch of times, so there's a bunch of different variations. And then this one also got the final run treatment in 1999. So in 99, this was made for the last time, and they final runned it. So they completely got rid of the casting, which is okay because it doesn't have an interior. That's the one gripe that you definitely would have about it, is there is no interior piece, so the glass is always not clear. It looks like that, and sometimes that looks lame, especially when it's blue like that. I don't think it looks very good. So there you have that one. And then we got 2 more to go. This one is the Limousine. This one's got metal flake paint. The version that you're looking at here is from 1992. Open it real quick here. It actually debuted in 1991, so you're looking at, this is the 92 version. This one has had a ton of releases too. It was last seen in 2011. Very sparkly metal flake paint. Probably won't ever see that on Hot Wheels again, paint like this with all this glitter. So definitely an interesting thing. This one has a plastic base, gold chrome plastic base. That's also a part of like the front grille, back bumper and all that. And then metal body, and then of course a window piece and an interior piece. So a pretty basic casting. Like I said, last seen in 2011 in a 5-pack, and seen a bunch of times in between then and this one here, which came out in 92. It's kind of a cool car. When I was a little kid, I actually did like this casting quite a bit. I had a version of it. I don't remember exactly which version it was, but I definitely had one. So there is your Limousine. And then, lastly, we got the Beach Blaster, which is kind of a minivan looking like casting. The Beach Blaster originated, the original name for this casting was the Inside Story, and it's an old one. It dates back to 1979. This particular one that you're looking at, though, is from 1997. So in 1979, it had a release in a mainline. It had a C Machines release, and it was in the 1980 mainline, 81 mainline, 83 Speed Machines, and then this 97 release. So it really has not been released very much, and it is a strange little kind of fantasy casting that's kind of like a minivan. But the interesting thing about this one, and the interesting thing about the one that's not a C machine, I don't know about the C machine interior. C machines, by the way, I think you could look in the back and you'd see like a picture in there if you looked up close. This one doesn't have that feature. What it does have, the interior piece is kind of interesting because it's got a motor. So this is the engine in between the two front seats. And in the back, it's got, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it too good, but it's actually got a Formula One style race car in the back. So this is like supposed to be able to transport a Formula One car. And then the detail up front is just part of the interior that sticks through to the headlights. That's actually kind of a neat feature that you don't see too often. So it's not part of the windshield, it's actually part of the headlights. So that is kind of an interesting one. It's got a plastic base, metal body. This is an India made casting. So I don't know, I mean, it probably wasn't always in India, but the last time it was released, it was in India. And is that something? What's the deal with that? So it looks like I don't know what that is. If that's over painting on that side, it looks like though the whole detail of this is missing on this side. I don't know, it looks like maybe it just filled up with paint. It's hard as a rock though. It's not like it's a bubble that you can get rid of. It's there. So that's kind of weird. And overall, it is just kind of a weird deal. I think it's kind of cool, though. That's a cool one I have, I think. It's just weird that this came out in, like, 97. This looks like it would be, even this version of it just looks like it would be way older than 1997. But there it is. There's your inside story / Beach Blaster. So, pretty cool. All right, so that's going to be it for this 10 Car Tuesday, guys. We looked at 10 oddball castings or releases from Hot Wheels. Let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite. And I don't know, for me it's kind of hard to say. I want to say this Beach Blaster actually is my favorite because it's like a van and I dig vans. The tipper is kind of cool. I think it's kind of just a neat piece. Good example of that Corgi tooling. Tank's kind of cool. Hummer's alright. London bus. This would be a lot cooler if it wasn't so, like, I don't know, skinny. Wienermobile. Who doesn't like a Wienermobile? And then, but yeah, I'm gonna go with this is my favorite of the episode. I'm gonna say my second favorite actually is probably the limousine. And then after that, it's kind of hard to tell. All these castings aren't too terribly exciting, but I do like this tipper a little bit too. I just think it's kind of a neat thing that it's got, this moving feature, and actually it moves really well. So, all right, that's going to be it for this episode of 10 Car Tuesday. Thank you guys very much for watching another one of these. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your week.